Hey guys, welcome to an auto review right here on ToyWorldOrder.com with me, Devall, and the buddy Dave Draper.
Yay!
Gang, we're back. We seem to be taking these extended absences for a while, but there's been some personal issues.
It's been a rough year.
It's been a rough year so far.
But something came along that was so big, literally, that we just could not ignore it.
Big. Transformers has been around for
a year or two.
A year or a few. We've gotten some great Transformers this past year with the Transformers Titans Return line, which is basically all Headmasters. We got Fort Max. We got a ton of great characters. We did get
a Fort Max last year, so we got a Titan.
We got a Titan.
The Titans Return line.
Yes. Well, we got a new Titan in the Titans Return line. This one being one of Dave's, I don't know if it's one of your favorites.
No, not really. Well, I mean, I never had it as a kid. I picked one up down the road as an adult because, you know, it
just a few years ago, I think, too, right?
Years ago. Well, yeah.
And, of course, we're talking about the Decepticon City Trypticon.
Well, I think of it more as a dinosaur.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a Transformables dinosaur.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
If it wasn't for this review, it would never be anything but a dinosaur. This will be the only time it ever gets transformed.
Yes, this will be the only time Dave's ever gets transformed.
Then it'll be dinosaur mode and on the floor.
Yeah, because it's huge. But today we're taking a look at Hasbro's release of Titans Return. Look at the box, it's huge. Trypticon! It's a big box.
It was heavy, too.
Yeah, it's a heavy monster. It's a very big box, though. I don't know if it's not as big as Fort Max's box, but it's
wow, we're getting into that kind of... getting into a box measuring contest?
Yeah, pretty much. Of course, the front of the box is really dynamic, unique. Features this
you know, you don't need a big box if you know what you're doing with it.
That's true. Features this great painting of Trypticon being attacked by Autobots, which is really cool. The guns are blazing, and he's very dynamic. Shows you the different modes over here of Trypticon, which parallel the original G1 modes of Trypticon himself, kind of a space shuttle mode, and then a base mode. And then, of course, we get the Trypticon, the logo and everything at the bottom there. The sides, you get a little story of the Titans Returns. The other side, you get some more of the dynamic artwork of Trypticon there. And then the back, of course, shows you all the different variations, including full tilt, because full tilt is included. Which is kind of sad because Fort Max didn't include his little transforming...
Well, Fort Max was basically just a slight...
redecoed of Metroplex.
Redecoed Metroplex,
right.
Yeah.
Whereas Trypticon is all new.
All new.
Yeah, this sucker is all new. But you can see all of the different details of the actual Trypticon version, the dinosaur version. Full tilt up here. Full tilt is a headmaster. So you can see that. You can see his base mode down here, and then his ship mode down at the bottom, which is pretty cool. So
now, one thing that I'm just going to point out, because I noticed this in the packaging, I don't know how long they've been doing this, is you notice these other characters?
Yes.
You'll notice there's like a border around them that's yellow. There's an actual thing here that says, you know, items in yellow border do not actually come with the toy.
Oh, yeah.
Because apparently that's how stupid we've become.
Apparently. Well, I remember when I was young and the Transformers, the cardboard base that I have up there, you actually can't see, it's behind Dave's head. When that came out, I remember my grandfather bought it. I remember seeing the pictures of all the Dinobots on the front cover of it. And when I opened it, I was very sad to find out that there weren't actual Dinobots in the box.
No.
And for years I thought, well, why didn't it come with the Dinobots? Because they weren't.
Because they didn't.
Sold separately. But we talked about full tilt. Dave has full tilt in his hand. Look at full tilt. And look, my camera hates purple.
Your camera does hate purple. It's purple and it hates green.
Yes, it does. Oh, good. There's all kinds of that on this. That's just great.
So basically, like we keep reviewing Decepticons for some reason.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm sad. But full tilt, of course, is fully transformable. We'll take a look at him in a little while. But then
he comes with a little. I don't know where to go.
No, you can show the headmaster off.
Yeah, well, actually, in this mode, he's the little driver of the car.
Oh, yes.
And you fold him up, and he becomes a head.
In the words of our puppet friend, yes.
Yes. It's amazing.
It is amazing. And then, of course, we get none other than the beast himself, Trypticon. I'm gonna zoom the camera out a little bit here so you can get a better
fully appreciate the majesty of it.
Hold on, let me focus. Focus.
I gotta finish the transformation. It's not properly transformed.
There we go. There we go. Professional people. Dave and I are professionals.
Sure. That's a word.
It is a word. There we go.
Yay.
And I think if you actually flip his tail out, it makes his tail look complete too.
Put the little, do it that way?
Yeah, put the little ramp down.
Never do it that way.
See, it makes him look like he's got an actual tail instead of his tail being cut off.
I always thought his tail was supposed to be cut off.
I've seen a lot of guys.
He's one of them breeds that gets their tails clipped.
He is one of the. He's one of those breeds. Mom, did we get Trypticon's tail clipped? We did, Sonny Jim. Trypticon is enormous. He is a beast, to put it lightly. I mean, just look at this.
He's a titan.
He is a titan. He is
worthy of the name.
Yes, he is an amazing, amazing transformer, an amazing creation by Hasbro and Takara. I mean, just simply stunning. And the fact that in this day and age when they don't do a lot of new tooling for a lot of these characters, like they try to reuse molds a lot, something this big and this expensive that Hasbro actually took a chance on to develop.
It was a fan vote winner.
And it was a fan vote winner. And Hasbro and Takara kind of shared the cost in
they were legally obligated
to make it. They were, well, not really. We're talking to Hasbro here. When was the last time?
A fan vote's like a legal document.
Uh-huh.
It's a binding contract between makers and fans.
No, it's not. Hasbro's never really...
Actually, they've always kind of come through on their fan
Have
votes.
they?
Yeah.
So I thought the Star Wars ones were always kind of hokey.
Oh, they're rigged. Oh, they're rigged as fudge.
There you go.
But...
Trypticon here, I mean, he's immense. He is a definite... it's the G1 Trypticon.
Well, it's funny that you should say that. Let's just skip right ahead to everyone's favorite moment. It's contrastment time.
Yes! We're not legally allowed to call it the other thing, because somebody else owns that. Somebody we know.
Some other jerk monopolized that.
But there you go. There's
G1.
Yes. There's G1, tiny Trypticon.
Oh.
We have Mama Trypticon and Baby Trypticon.
Yeah.
Mama Trypticon says, son, you do good now.
But Papa, I don't want to work down in mine.
Son, you listen to me, you'll follow in my footsteps. Or else no more transforming for you. Well, this review took a turn.
Yeah, well, what else?
Turned quickly.
What else is new?
But you can tell that, I mean,
I mean, back in the day, this was big.
This was huge back in the day. This was impressive. And the fact that he walks. This one does not walk on his own.
Does not walk.
No.
Although, we will point out that they do have the little thingies for the feet.
Which is fun. Yeah. So they did make a faithful... They were very faithful in the design.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that it's I mean... There's so many design elements that are absolutely harkening back to the G1 design.
Yes, very much so. It's a gorgeous piece, though. I mean, it is beautiful. Transformers fans have been able to find this in limited quantities, I should point out.
2 per case.
Yeah, 2 per case is what these big boys come in. Of course, you can't fit more than 2 per case, but
I know this because I ripped this one right from the case.
A lot of Toys R Us stores are only getting a case, if that.
Word.
Because we've learned...
Well, I mean, you can't get any less than a case.
No, but I'm just saying they get a case. Well, some Toys R Us's may not get any. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, I think we had like less than 200 for the entire Midwest.
Yeah, the entire Midwest. So at least this is what we're told via contacts at Toys R Us. So.
Yeah, for Toys R Us. They're whatever the Chicago warehouse or whatever that handles the shipping distribution got in 190 cases, I think. Which covers Wisconsin and Illinois and Indiana and
not a lot, people.
Yeah,
not
200.
A lot. Yeah. It's a great monstrosity. I mean, well, you know, he is pretty articulated. His arms.
I mean, he's got all the articulation. That's right. The little claws
his claws are articulated. The guns here click back just like the vintage toy. The guns do not protrude.
Yeah, the purple parts don't come out.
Yeah. The legs here are.
They are articulated, but they don't like to move.
Yeah, they do not. The knees here are articulated. His little ankles here have some articulation. The head, of course, can move. Is on a ratchet, as you can hear. It can move up and down.
And then this whole thing is, you know, for the transformation, it moves around.
Yeah, it moves around, but this way you can turn his head kind of like you can the G1. Of course, he's got the guns in the mouth, and then the little top up here opens up to reveal the gun. And then if we I got to pull full tilt out of here again.
We could have just used
oh god, I got it.
Different headmaster. But
well, all my headmasters are put up. What's great about this Trypticon is the fact that he actually can swallow a headmaster figure.
Ta-da!
And they go down here into his chest.
Yes. I was a little disappointed to find out that the exit was the chest. I kept looking a little lower for the exit point.
Yeah, they go right in the chest there. So he can swallow his little headmaster brethren, or Autobot headmasters, and just eat them.
And then he pops out alien style.
So
as opposed to pooping.
As opposed to pooping. Thank you, David. You went the Devall route on that one.
That's what I expected.
Fair enough. He's got a point, people. It's that's where I would have taken it.
How it works.
It's where I would have taken it, indeed. Well, what do you say we take a look at both the transformations of Full Tilt?
Tilt?
Again, professional toy reviewers, people. This is what we do.
We're a little rusty.
We're a little rusty. We'll get there. Let's take a look at Full Tilt, and we'll take a look at the transformations for Trypticon himself. All right, before we look at Trypticon, let's take a look at his little buddy, Full Tilt. Full Tilt here is a fully transformable deluxe size transformer. The gun pops off the hood, just like that. It's interesting with a lot of these Titans Return headmasters is that the headmasters are able to ride inside. So you've got Full Tilt's little Nebulon partner there. His little arms fold down, feet fold up, and you have Full Tilt's head. Full Tilt's transformation here is actually relatively very simple. The feet parts here, these pop down, and the legs open up like so. The legs flip down like so. So you've got this going on back here. You flip those closed, and there you've got legs here. Arms are pretty easy. Arms are attached here to this top part, and they simply pop out and slide down, while his fists rotate out. So you've got one arm. Got a second arm here, like so. And then to reveal the headmaster spot, this part gets pushed down and pulled back. Your little transformed headmaster connects into the slot. A little tricky sometimes. And you have yourself a fully transformed Full Tilt. Now, Full Tilt's got the same articulation as most of the deluxe characters that we've seen in the past. He's got a pretty good range of motion. The head can turn left and right, up and down. The arms can move. He can hold his gun. It's a very nice little figure to have with Trypticon, because Trypticon's already ginormous, but then you've got this deluxe size transformer who's very cool as well. So with Full Tilt out of the way, let's take a look at Trypticon's transformation. So as you can see, Trypticon he's large. He's very, very large. His spaceship form is very cool looking. You've got a lot of details in the stickers in the front. Now there's some very interesting features in his spaceship form. Of course, he's got the pivoting guns up here. This portion here can actually slide up, and you can put the Full Tilt car in there, and he can get stored in there in the spaceship mode. And then that comes down and snaps into place. You've got the wings here. You've got the guns. You've got the firing guns here, which is nice. It is just a big hunk of spaceship. I mean, you can tell all the details. The stickers on this guy, to put them, you have to transform him into each of his modes in order to get all the stickers on there. I mean, you don't have to, but technically you do in order to make it function properly. But you get an idea of just how many. I mean, there was 160 some stickers, I believe, and they were very difficult to put onto this big bad mamma jamma. So there's little holes for like little headmasters to go through. There's little spots for. There's a spot on top here for Full Tilt. Full Tilt can connect to the spaceship here. We'll show you a little bit more of that in his Tyrannosaurus Rex mode. But in order to transform into the city mode, it's actually not that difficult going from this to city mode. This gets flipped down. Now, you're not going to be able to see this because, well, I only have so much room, but the ramp gets flipped down. These gets pushed up. And these guns actually, just like the G1 do, extend. They do pull out, so you can actually extend those guns to their full range here, and those get tilted up. So far, so good. The legs here, and the legs are the scariest part of this transformer. Moving this beast's legs on his hips is the scariest thing I've ever done with anything from normal Transformers to third-party Transformers, because they literally feel like they're going to break every second that you move them. But in order to do this, you unhook the legs, They're hooked into the side. You can see the little tab there. Okay, you pull the legs out. Not like that, but pull the legs out, and then they separate right there. And as you can see, as they fold out, this little stand piece comes down in order to help them stand on their own there. So you've got one section here. You do the second section the same way. See what I mean? It's the scariest thing ever because they sound like they're going to break. And then these get flipped up. You can actually move those in a little bit so they sit better. You've got your flaps here for your leader class Headmaster Titans Returns. The bases, technically, they can connect to Trypticon like the vintage toy. And then the last thing to do is flip these two panels down. And you have a Trypticon in city mode. Now, in city mode, he can do a few things with the car vehicles, the deluxe class vehicles in the line. Let me transform full tilt again here real quick. Quick transformation, people. Quick transformation. His arms go like that. There we go. On the spot transformation. There we go. So with full tilt in his car mode, he can actually, they're supposed to be able to, but they kind of wobble a little bit. But they can drive down the ramps. You can drive full tilt down this ramp here. I mean, there's different sections for headmasters to stand. For instance, using full tilt's little head here. Got little sections over here on the sides. They can stand at the battle and be ready to go into battle with the Autobots. And they don't stand very well, unfortunately. They do, but they don't. So, very cool. The city mode is the ship mode is cool. The city mode is large. It's very, very big. It's a big, big, big mode. But this is really really nice. It's a really nice city mold. It's, you know, of course, a nice homage, of course, to the G1. I mean, it's literally almost the G1 to a T. I never owned this as a kid, so it's very hard for me, even though Dave brought the G1, it's very hard for me to remember. I had a friend that had it, and I got to transform it a few times, so it's very difficult to remember if this is exactly pretty close to it or not. I believe it is. It's pretty darn close. Well, with that out of the way, what do you say? I'm going to put him back into ship mode, and we'll take a look at his T-Rex form. All right. So, T-Rex mode. Pretty simple, for the most part. Let's be honest. Nothing about this beast is really technically simple, but in order to start, the wings get folded up, and then these two portions here get folded up like so, and then you can pull the sides in, and they connect into place there. Same with this side, they connect into place. So then you're left with this here. The legs here, as he starts to fall apart on me, the legs here, they are connected into the sides. Right there, you can see how those swivel out. Those you have to swivel down and push into place so they lock. They then lock into place. This is not easy, gang. It's, like I said, it's very scary moving this beast's legs around because they literally feel like they're going to break. So you have him in this section here. This whole section here gets moved back. And then the feet. So you've got the feet here. The sides come out. These come up. Sides come out. These come up. So you can then set him down like so. So you've got this portion of him. Now the arms. I'll show you the arms here. The arms here swivel down like so. And then I'll do the other one here. And then these simply disconnect and come out. The claws can be posed however you like. They've got some range of movement there too. And then all that's left is the head part. So then you're left with the head. So you've got him in this orientation here. The guns flip around. This whole thing will swivel. Gets stuck every once in a while, will swivel, and then simply the head pops down. and then you have Trypticon basically ready to destroy the Autobots. It's a little wonky, like I said, very scary. And then of course you've got the chest piece here, which you can then place full tilt up into, and that connects to hold full tilt. Of course you've got the little gun here that can be stored on full tilt's chest. And you, my friends, have a finished Trypticon. Now let's take a look at a couple of features on this bag, on this big bad mamma jamma. There's a very cool point on his head, and I'll swivel him up and back here so you can see. There's a little section right here, and if you take your little headmaster figure, and he can actually sit down in here. It's hard doing this backwards. So if you set him in there, now that I've got him in there, set him in there and push him down. Watch the gun here. By connecting the headmaster, his other gun pops up, which is kind of cool. And of course, the head can move up and down. And the other headmaster just pops out of there. Now, the other cool thing with this is the fact that that good old Trypty here can actually swallow. So you can see the hole in his gullet. Can actually swallow headmasters. Just like so. And where do they end up after they're swallowed, you asked? Funny you should ask that. His chest here opens up. And you can actually see the different compartments. So when he actually swallows a headmaster, they fall right into here. And there's a couple different levels here that you can put headmasters into. But a little jail cell for the Autobot headmasters as Trypticon swallows them. Very, very cool toy from Hasbro. Very neat. Pretty amazing Titan. You know, now that we have two Titans, it's pretty darn cool, if I do say so myself. There you go, guys. There's a look at Trypticon in full tilt from the new Titans. Let's try that again. Good God, I can't talk. There you go, guys. There's a look at Trypticon and full tilt from Titan's Return from Hasbro's Transformers line. Newly released. Good luck trying to find him in stores. You might still be able to get him off Big Bad Toy Store on occasion, or somewhere like Kokomo Toys. They
sold out pretty fast.
They sold out pretty quick, but I'm guessing they'll probably have more coming in because they sold out so fast. Maybe. Cross your fingers. Who knows?
Who knows? $140.
Yeah, not bad. It's not bad for $140. I know a lot of people were making jokes that they'll wait for Ross, which is what everybody does when something big from Hasbro comes out. Oh, wait for Ross.
Yeah, I wonder who did that around here.
I don't know what you're talking about. Not my fault Ross had Fort Max for $50. I bought it. Well, you bought it.
I bought one for both of us.
You bought one for both of us, that's right. And it was wonderful. It was the greatest Christmas of all.
You don't even like Fort Max.
No, but I have an original Fort Max, and he fits in perfect.
All right, fine.
I don't even have an original Trypticon, but I want this Trypticon because he's cool. Some takebacks. The stickers on this are pain. There's 160 stickers. They're all super tiny. All teeny tiny little stickers.
Tiny little metallic stickers.
They suck. I'm sure within the next several months, Repro Labels will have a sticker set out for Trypticon, which improves him 100%. I don't know if it's something Dave will buy.
I don't know if it's something Dave will buy either.
But if so, Jason will probably have to put those stickers on as well. I'm usually Dave's
You're the one that's always like, "Ooh, I like stickers."
I like putting on stickers.
You yell at me when I put stickers on things.
I still want the Fort Max set, which you did yourself, actually. I'm very proud of you.
Oh, yeah, that was madness.
Yeah. See, I could have done that. You could have not had any of that madness.
I could have, yeah. Well, man's gotta put his own stickers on.
Put his own stickers on.
Man's also got to know his limitations.
Yeah. Repro Labels will probably have it sit here in a couple months. The transformation on this thing, full tilt's not bad. It's easy. He's a Voyager class size. Or did we decide he was a Voyager?
He's
or
a deluxe. Voyager's bigger than that.
He's a deluxe size. He's pretty simple. Most of the deluxe sizes are pretty simple. It's just a few steps really to transform him, honestly. Trypticon, on the other hand, is kind of wonky. The instructions, Hasbro's instructions, suck more and more and more.
Terrible.
Every time they do them. ever since they went away from like full color, detailed instructions, now they're this weird.
Well, they don't even like use colors on the accents.
No,
I
it's
believe.
like two-tone.
Yeah,
it sucks.
It's like gray on gray. It's super useful.
It's great. It's good trying to read. It's not the best, but once you figure the transformation out, it's not bad, but it is wonky. I will give you that. His 2 modes, the spaceship mode, it's all right. The city mode's really cool because all of the other leader class headmaster, like the Decepticon, all the bases, just like Fort Max, they can connect to Trypticon, which is kind of cool. So that gives you a chance to make a bigger Decepticon city. So that's really cool. But I think this is something every Transformer collector that is currently collecting this current line, there was a lot of currents in there.
Yeah, there was.
There was a lot of currents. That are collecting this current line. This is probably something you're going to be very interested in. Something you're going to want, trust me. Because just looking at it in person, I want it. It's pretty spectacular. It's a magnificent piece of toy. So kudos to Hasbro and Takara for cooking up this bad boy. Kudos to the fans for voting on him. Because, let's face it, out of all the other votes, all the other characters there was really only one winner, and that was going to be Trypticon.
Yeah.
I think Dave tried to vote like 6 times.
I don't think you had to register for something to vote. So,
did you?
Yeah.
He might have actually done it. He might have just forgot. But if Dave could have voted a ton, he would have voted for Trypticon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dave would have discovered how to mask his IP address and voted every time for him to ensure that Trypticon won. But sure. Trypticon won. Yes. We have a Trypticon. And all is right with the world in Dave's world. For he has Mama Trypticon and Baby Trypticon.
Yes.
Gang, there you go. Make sure you check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/ToyWorldOrder. Hit subscribe, mash the like button, comment. Enjoy all the other stuff we have going on. Check out youtube.com/BoardTheShow for all of our board game nonsense that we do, which is always fun. And check us out on ToyWorldOrder.com for the podcast, David Devall's Toys and Collectibles. And gang, until next time, David.
Keep playing with your toys.
Take care, gang. We'll see you next time. Sonny boy, oh, sonny boy. Sonny boy, follow my lead. It's a Broadway version of Trypticon and Son. Dave is not amused.
No.
Jason is sad.
Trypticon, gotta find the Trypticon, gotta get the Trypticon. 90s kids will get it.
I'm not amused now. I got it because it's Reptar.
Yes.
Yes. See? Gang, we'll see you next time. Take care.